Final round of the EVERCOLLAGEN Queen's Crown, where Park Ji-young is looking to seal the deal and pick up a 6th KLPGA Tour title and a second of this wraparound 2023 season. She leads by 4. She stretched that advantage. That was 2 overnight. Great play on the front 9. 3 birdies, but then dropping her first shot of the day. First shot of the entire week, in fact, on the 7th hole. It's been a calm string of pars since. Her closest pursuer, Lee Seung-yeon, unable to make up any ground. A birdie and a bogey on her card today. But thankfully, the rain, while persistent, hasn't been too problematic. No delays. Fingers crossed it stays that way with 6 holes to play this Sunday afternoon. Timothy Lowe here, so glad you could join us for this final round of the 17th event of the season. Park Ji-young for a birdie at the 14th. Greens, as you can understand, would be rather slow today, given the saturation that the surface has received all throughout this Sunday. Ji-young playing some excellent golf indeed. 4 birdies on her card to the 7th. Currently sits in a share of 3rd at 13 under par. Now Ga-young for a birdie at 15. Oh dear. And that's one of those inexcusable misses. So unable to pick up a shot despite a lovely wedge into the par 5. Now Jumi playing alongside Ji-young on this 14th, coming down the hill slightly. Great run there. It's been a real slog this Sunday afternoon for the 66 players who made the halfway cut. Somi birdied her final hole yesterday to get into this late tee time. 18 under par as well. No drop shots on her scorecard. Not many bogey-free rounds out there today. You can understand given the treacherous conditions. Priority number 1, keeping those grips dry. Both Ji-young and her caddy. It's the only point of contact the golfer has with the golf club. Last thing we need is any sort of slippage, but she's got a 4-shot cushion. Really just looking to nurse it home now. She's done all the hard work already. It's just about finishing the job. Just a little right, but shouldn't be too much issue with a short iron left at most. Seung-yeon really played some excellent golf on moving day and was unable to gain any ground against Ji-young. Such was the form that Park was in on Saturday. Unfortunately, pretty much the same tail of the tape today for Lee. It should stay in the fairway. I'll tell you what, we have some very keen fans of the KLPGA Tour. We say it week in and week out, but to pop some brollies up and go trail these ladies around this very wet golf course, and that takes some commitment. Now, Lee Won just coming to the end of her round. It's been a good one. Pitched up from just short of the green at the short 18th. This one for a birdie. Not to be a flashy finish for year one. It's going to be another great week for the 20-year-old. Last season's Rookie of the Year. Picked up a breakthrough KLPGA Tour title in conditions, if you can believe it, worse than this at Lotte Sky Hill earlier in April. And it's Ji-young who sits atop the leaderboard this week in the island of Jeju at the EVERCOLLAGEN Queen's Crown, 4 ahead of Lee Seong-yeon. It's going to be another top 10 finish for year one. 13 last year in her rookie campaign. Brilliant final round from Lee, 66, which included a third hold-out eagle in the last 288 days on tour. That's something pretty special from a very special young lady. So-mi coming in from a little bit further back than she's been doing over the first 3 days. Fairway's hardly giving the players any sort of run out. Pin today cut close to the left edge, just 4 paces. So I'll keep this one out right. Just a little long, but no problems at all from Lee So-mi. How about Ma Da-som ahead at 15? One of the players that was making a great move yesterday. Still playing for a lot of cash this week, these ladies. 800 million Korean won prize purse. And that's a bit of a clunky one from Ma Da-som. It looks like Ji-young's just in the first cut of rough, but I wonder if a couple of the taller blades from the secondary cut could just make distance control a little bit tricky here. No reason to go at this flag.
아직 플레이 한 선수 남았습니다. 멈춰주세요.
That's superb. Would have been exactly where she was looking. Min-sun 70 yesterday in the final group, but lapped by her playing partners 66 and 65. Still at 9 under par. Hasn't really been able to make much of this Sunday. Never too late to start. Did stray into the secondary cutter rough, but she can't shy away from attacking this pin. Did it jump on her just a touch, but it's not bad. Well, it may look a little bit awkward, but it shouldn't be too difficult for Da-som on this uphill slope. Just sort of poke this forward, will release out. Yeah, well done. Despite a poor third, the par will keep her inside the top 10. It's that really ugly double bogey early at the fourth. So me mentioned yesterday, does enjoy playing, has good results on Jeju Island. 3 of her 5 KLPGA Tour titles coming here. A pair of them in back-to-back events last season. The SK Networks Championship and the S-Oil Championship. Also won the Lotte Rent-A-Car Ladies Open back in 2021. Save for Park Ji-young's brilliance over the last 3 days. It's been a very good week again for Somi. But we'll want to move from left to right. Slightly downhill in the second half of it, but you feel the moisture on the greens would negate that, so she can give this a bit of a run. Lovely shot into 15. We saw Guyang miss one from closer. Oh, they are really struggling with this pin position on 15 today. It didn't look like the most committed stroke from Kim Min-sun 7, but KLPGA Tour rookie, 19 years of age, was looking to become the 3rd rookie to win on tour this season, following the footsteps of Bang Shin-sil and last week's Daiwinia MBN Ladies Open champion Hwang Yo-min, but it's not going to work out for Min-sun this week. Seong-yeon as the rain continues to fall. Downhill look at the 13th. Needs to hang a hard right. It's not going to. KLPGA Tour title, the 2019 Nexen St. Nine Masters at Gimhae, Gaya, before the COVID-19 pandemic put a halt to things. There's a bit of a wait here. As long as she hasn't caused that ball to move, it's okay. I know it's a difficult day out there, but really, you want to be sure that you're not making a silly ruling mistake. But this is one of those situations where you feel sometimes players should really just get on with it. Everyone knows the rule. You don't have to call in a rules official all the time. Let's face it, that's an 8-inch putt. Just go on, tap it in, and let's get on with things. Gale into this 13th. Flat flags not as challenging as they would be with these soft, sticky conditions. Leading edge dig in a little bit there. Gets it to carry the rough. Just sits on the fringe. Not bad. To spread the lead to 5. Park Ji-young for a birdie back at the 13th. Good roll, but a par will do. Dasom at the 16th. It saw a hole-in-one earlier this week from Korean Women's Open champion Hong Ji-won. You can see they're not going to get any rollout, but it's a good tee shot from Dasom. Jung-sil-gi. The tricky thing about conditions like this, yes, the pins are accessible, but it's so soggy where the ball sits. You're not absolutely precise with your low point control. Easy to just catch it a touch heavy. That one looked pretty good. That's a good result, but look at that. The very definition of drop and stop. Accelerated well into that. Back down on the back of it, but sometimes you can press the ball a little bit too much. It just carries a yard or two further. Not that that's going to bother Jumi though. She's still within 15 feet. Park Ji-young and company make their way up to 14. 363 meter hole. Plays about 10 meters downhill from tee all the way down to the fairway, and then another 5 meters down to the green. Now, there is a little bit of a speed slot. If you can pitch this ball about 240 yards off the tee, you can get quite a bit of run, but I just don't see that happening today. The second shot will be played from a slight downhill lie off damp surfaces. Could be a little bit tricky. Up to that back right section, 27 from the front and just 5 from the right.
아니 그런 건 아니었어요. 그대로 잘 그대로 잘 해결했어요.
They're still discussing Lee Seong-yeon's little situation over her putt on the last, but all smiles, so no problems.
그럼 우측으로 나와주세요.
Lost her tee shot out a little bit right yesterday, Park Ji-young. Don't really want to do it with the back right pin on 14 today. The fairways, the landing area, most holes at the Sienna Country Club, pretty wide. Spun out of it a touch. Still be in the first cut of rough, so that's okay. And Son Yubin has had an excellent final round here. 7 under par. This one needs to just scamper along a little bit on 18. Unfortunately, it's not going to, but to put together 7 birdies without a drop shot, certainly saving her best for last. Into a share of 3rd now. After starting Sunday outside the top 30. Now back to 14 and Lee So-mi. Got to give this a good thump through the fringe. It's going to be a little bit slow. Noticed that she did tend to get a little bit quick with her tempo, particularly at the transition. A couple of times the back nine yesterday. That one looked okay, but she's eyeing it rather anxiously. Just into the left rough. And if you're going to miss a fairway on the 14th today, the left side is to be preferred. Go back to the 18th and Chaya Rim, runner-up at the Sandasu Masters last year, where Jihan Sol will defend next week. Chumi should want to fall right at the end. It falls right in the middle. Lovely 4 there from Lee Ju-mi. Takes her into a share of 6th. Dasom. Oh, it's a deuce at 16, and Ma Da-som also going to get up to that 12 under par mark. And you take away that double bogey at the 4th, and she's running in a share of 2nd. Seulgi from the opposite side. Never gave that enough borrow, only a par. Im Jun-hee Got this one back in her stance, just trying to chase a little low skipping checker. Would have been nice with the walk-off eagle, but she'll settle for a birdie. And that would move her up into a share of 13 this year's NH Ladies Champion.
플레이였습니다.
A factor to consider coming out of this slightly thicker cut of rough that Ji Young finds herself in is the moisture on the blades of grass. Now that's going to interact with the club face. Sometimes you can catch sort of wet club face flyers. Not so much of a problem for Lee Seung-yeon, who's got the entire length of the green to work with on the angle from the left rough. Oh, that's superb. What a shot from Lee Seung-yeon. She knows she needs something special over these closing 5 holes, and she's going to need a bit of help from Park Ji-young as well, as Son Ye-bin looks to post the second 64 of the week. Park Ji-young popped a 64 in yesterday. And Son Ye-bin is going to record a 64 on Sunday. Fantastic playing from her. Well, clubhouse target set by Son. 14 under par, take a bow. That is a stellar way to end the week. Simple tap in for Im Jin-hee. Leave her inside the top 15. A good closing round of 68 there from the 3-time tour champion. One hand off the club, but it's safely on the dance floor for your championship leader. Line for Sony, so the weight's going to be forward, which should move the low point of her swing a little bit past the ball, which is not a bad thing in these conditions. Another fine iron shot there from Lee. Juni ahead on 16. That looked a little loose. Just going to stay on the front fringe, and she's got a good 60 feet now between her and the hole. Now. Imagine this will be a 5-iron. Indeed, it is for Seul-gi. Just doesn't quite travel as far in the rain. A bit more resistance through the air, as you can imagine. You see a lot of players clubbing up, just trying to swing a little smoother. You don't want to be sort of lunging at the ball and throwing all your weight behind it, all your force behind it, because it could very easily End up in a lot of thin shots, a lot of fat shots. It's about trying to stay in control, particularly of that low point at the bottom of your swing. Fine shot there. Oh, Yerim to complete a hat trick of birdies for this group on the 18th. Three birdies on order at 18. Son Yevin, Im Jin-hee and Choi Yerim, all with big smiles on their faces. A delightful closing round of 65 from Choi. KO with a 4-iron here. It's going to have to be a pretty smooth one for Park. Four irons worked out well. Four irons worked out brilliantly for Park Gae-yeol. I think it's safe to say we'll give her that one for a birdie too. All that will not matter unless this lady gives the chasers some hope. It's not taking her foot off the gas pedal at any point. Park Ji-young up and over that little shoulder, coming down towards the hole. Yet another simple tap in for Park.
좀 멈춰주세요.
So he is currently in a share of 13th. Still out playing for a good amount of money out here this week. 88 million won for a solo second finish. This would get her into a three-way tie. That would calculate to roughly around 65 million won. Straight putt, maybe just a hint off the right. Just needed a little bit more pace. Done some hook lie. Top of the hill on 17, 72 to the pin. Stayed bang on line, excellent shot. So, gotta have it to try to keep things interesting with 4 to play. She will. Excellent birdie from Lee Seong-yeon. Well, she trims the deficit to 3 shots with just her second birdie of the afternoon. Suffice to say, this one's going to be pretty slow for Lee Joo-mi's birdie. From that range, that is brilliantly judged. Said this was a relatively straightforward tap in. Thankfully, Park Ji-young manages that without incident. The lead still comfortable, but just 3. Silky will want to work to her left. Brilliant birdie at 16. No start with that early drop shot, but it's been plodding away on the west course ever since. Kim Min-sol, talented amateur. He delighted us at Rainbow Hills at the Korean Women's Open last month. It's a sublime short game, has all the tools, has Min-sol. She's going to be a force when she eventually turns professional. Four iron to about 2 feet for Park Gi-yeol. That moves her into a share of second place. Her runner-up finish at Lakewood was the first time, was the highest finish he's had. It's her win at the Seok-yong Networks Ladies Classic way back in 2018. Well, she's in third right now, trying to chase Lee Seong-yeon down, who's stepping up to the 15th next par 5 that plays uphill by almost 30 meters, and players can't hit driver off the tee with a little creek that sort of cuts the fairway in 2. So a lot of 3-woods for these ladies. And in today's conditions, you could argue that a chip driver would get the job done as well.
자, 플레이하겠습니다. 뒤에 이동 멈춰주세요.
Left side of this fairway must be avoided. Thick rough and plenty of penalty area up there. It's a hole that Lee Seong-yeon has played well all week. Birdied it every single day. Closing birdie for the only amateur to make the cut this week. Around a 72 for Kim Min-sol, who will rack up another low amateur prize on the KLPGA Tour. Just going to finish up in the rough for Lee So-mi, but it's not going to be a bother. No chance of getting home in 2. Straight up the center stripe for Park Ji-young.
딜러님 뒤쪽으로 돌아서 와주세요.
마지막에 가도 되지.
4 holes left to play. Park Ji-young leads by 3 this Sunday afternoon in the final round of the EVERCOLLAGEN Queen's Crown. See a little bit of standing water in the fairway at 15, but again, it has been raining overnight and all throughout this Sunday. Thankfully, no delays for this final round at Sienna Country Club. Lee Seung-yeon with a birdie back at 14 has just trimmed the deficit to 3. Keep this as far right as possible to open up the angle to that front left pin. So neat. Thick-ish lie. Trying to send a bullet up the right-hand side. And that's probably the most run that we've seen all day. A good, 15 feet? The only danger for Park Ji-young is the trouble that frames the left edge of this par 5. She's next to play. Yeah, that is a prime position for your tournament leader. You have more than 65, 70 meters left for the third. Excellent second from 172 for Madar Som. Will it result in a birdie 3 at the 17th? Right to left it. Needs to stay up. Needs to stay up. Well, under hit and under borrowed. Not many more disappointing ways to hit a putt than that, unfortunately. Low round of the day, a 64 from Sonia Bin, who played in the company of Choya Rim, who pegged a 65 together to leave herself in a share of 5th at the end of this week. Got a slight uphill lie to work with for Lee So-mi. Just want to make sure you get your weight onto your left side at the change of direction. Don't want to be hanging back here. Not bad, but just not enough. Seems like Lee Seung-yeon just asking if she can take relief from casual water here. Nothing visible to us from this camera angle, but you can hear it squelch under her feet. And really the general guide is, if you've taken your stance, you are taking your stance, and water starts to rise up from the ground, you would be entitled for casual water relief. There you go. Certainly some of the soggier spots near the drainage covers, you can see about 10 feet in front of Seung-yeon. She gets relief. And is now set to play her third from a slight downhill lie. Angle's great. So from Lee So-mi's drop and stop, you have to fly it to the pin because this will not release. That nicely. It just anchors itself right in its pitch mark. Now Gale, long way back on 17. This could be a 3-wood for Park. Still unable to get it anywhere near the front edge of the green. Ji-young going to step in pretty quickly over this one. They could virtually slam the door with a birdie here. Right over the stick. Excellent shot. Sung Yoo-jin, the Doosan match play champion this year, enjoying another solid week. 11 under par at the moment. Playing the last and gets the math wrong there. Curse of the TV cameras, we call that one. Lee Ga-young, who finally broke through last season at the Dongbu Construction Korea Championship, in her 78th start on tour. Oh, wonderful. It's been a bit of a struggle today for Ga-young, but she should be able to end her day in style. Tough one here over that bunker, but in the soft green, simplifying that shot just a little bit for Park Ju-young. Has waited a long time for her first KLPGA Tour title, the 32-year-old. She's going to have to wait a little bit longer. Now Gale back at 17. Not bad. 15 feet left of par. So me. A lot of the influence on this putt is going to come from that mound she's coming up and over. We want to move it right as it gets to the cup. It's positively struck. Oh, too positively struck. Keeps up in a share of 5th. We play in this group to not drop a shot today. And Yoo-jin. Front part of this green does kick towards the back, so it should release a little bit, and ooh, that's a little heavy-handed from Sung Yoo-jin. So that to stay inside the top 10. Prize purses here on the KLPGA Tour, very top-heavy, so the difference between 10th and 11th outright, and that's only about 800,000 won, so it's not a massive difference. But every penny counts. Seong-yeon cannot birdie 15 for a 4th day in a row. And Park Ji-young will have an opportunity to stretch her lead back to 4 in just a couple of minutes. Most likable characters on the KLPGA Tour. Lee Ga-young has a very vocal fan base that travels with her almost every week. A couple of them have even taken the short hop over to Jeju Island. Birdie to finish, a 69. Lee Ga-young ends her week at 9 under par. Park Ji-young just got to convince herself to hit this one hard enough. It moves left. Easy to lose this low. Certainly a positive putt. A great stroke. A really good up and down. Park Ji-young stays in a share of 3rd. Ji-young to return her advantage to a comfortable 4. Should want to move off her left. Slightly downhill as well, but nothing to give her too much concern. Yeah, just looked a little low all the way, but she leads by 3 with only 3 holes remaining. Young took some time off last year to give birth to her first child, putting on a special exemption for this season. There's almost 2 billion won in career earnings on the KLPGA Tour, but it's that breakthrough title she really, really wants. As the mom golfer out here on tour. It's a par at the last 1 over par round of 73. A little bit disappointing from Park after that splendid 64 got her back into the picture. Takes a step back on Sunday afternoon. Has been clumsily making her way up the 18th. She's going to drop a shot. Cost herself some extra cash on this 72nd hole. Disappointing way to end the week for Sung Yoo-jin. Bogey drops her outside of the top 10. Well, one final time this week. Let's have a peek at this beautiful par 3 16th. It's an island green, but there is ample room to miss if you do not manage to find the putting surface. But given the wet conditions today, players be coming in with long irons to this back front right hole location. Park Hye-yeol got it the closest to just under 2 feet with a very soft 4-iron. So you feel it's going to be between a 5 and maybe even a 4-iron for your final 3. Like a 5-iron for Lee Seung-yeon. Begging for this one to cut. Safely pin high, middle of the green. It's solid, but she needs spectacular. So many this hole each of the last 2 rounds. Not the best of contacts, but she'll find the green as well. Go flag hunting here for Park. look out towards where her two playing partners have hit their tee shots. I think this one's just a little right. But that's okay. Not the hardest chip in the world she's got coming up. Madasom hung back a little bit on this 18th, wants to give herself a full wedge in, but drove it almost over the green here yesterday with the tees up. But course management and an excellent wedge shot have given Madasom an opportunity to pick up a closing birdie. And Sun 7 got it down to the flat. It's one of these awkward sort of half wedge shot she's left herself a second. She's managed well. She's managed very well indeed. Park Ji-young leads by 3. The leader just off the right edge of the 16th green, closing in on KLPGA Tour title number 6. pretty straightforward chip shot. So Park Ji-young here, just move that ball up in the stance a little bit. Make sure you get some elevation. Carry the fringe, hands forward. Pick a spot and just play for a little bit of run. Ooh, that really stuck on her. Not in for 3 yet, is Park. She does lead by 3. Seung-yeon, her closest challenger, about 25 feet away. Kim Min-sun 7. And her week in a share of 12. Well, she would have hoped for a better weekend. But Kim Min-sun 7 is trending in the right direction. That's a top 15 finish for the 19-year-old here at the EVERCOLLAGEN Queen's Crown. Would throw the cat amongst the pigeons. Lee Seung-yeon, if she can muster it, a birdie at 16, down the hill, moving to her left. Has he got the speed? Ooh, just a little too much of it. A good effort. 2 holes to play. Will she be trailing by 3 or will she be trailing by 2? Ji-young with about 8 feet left for her par. Tassom. Birdie here. Gets her inside the top 5. Well done, Ma Da-som. Great birdie to close. 69-68 on the weekend. Somi. Really flat the first sort of 15 feet of this putt, and it works its way a little downhill. Should want to creep left on her. Well struck putt. We'll be able to make a hat trick of birdies on this par 3 this week. Staying loose here, Lee Joo-mi. Should be all systems go. And that's a nice spot there. Ji-young for a par and to preserve the 3-shot cushion. Oh, never in doubt. Rock solid from Park Ji-young. 2 holes away. Gale at the home hole just leaked it through the fairway. It's sitting nicely in that tufty rough. I'll carry this maybe 3-4 yards past the front edge of the green. Should get a big first kick. Or not. Back down to 17 and Lee Seung-yeon. T-box camera almost had me fooled for a second. I was going to say, look, it doesn't look like it's raining there, but you go to the fairway camera and it's a bit misty out there for Seung-yeon. that big first kick she was looking for. Settles into a good spot. Trying to keep this as far down that fairway as possible. Second shot in the wet, not fun with a hybrid. This hole yesterday to take that two-shot lead. Park Ji-young, it's 3 now, 24 hours later, on the cusp of some more KLPGA Tour glory. 2 holes remaining for Park Ji-young. Up on 18, Jung Seul-gi. This kind of downhill line, looks to play a bit of a low skipper, but she's got there. Hands forward in the face, wide open. And almost played like a long flop shot. Played it well, she did. It's a slight uphill line that Lee Ju-mi has drawn here. Hands forward, hip to hip kind of swing, but it's still important to be rotating that upper body. Don't want to turn this into an armsy swing. Easy to dump the club into the back of the ball. Just a little poor there from Ju-mi. It was not a complicated shot at all. Severely undercooks it. Guillaume has a look to get herself up into a share of second in a couple of moments, but it's going to be Lee Ju-mi first to putt. Well, from what we've seen, this putt should want to go a little right as it approaches the cup. First 6 feet all uphill, and then it works a little downhill. Just putting across that little front spine of the green. Outside chance to end her week on a high note. Not to be for Ju-mi. bogey back at the 17th. Can't birdie the short 18th. Good solid week inside the top 10 for Lee Ju Mi. Closing round of 71. That's where the pin is on 17 today, back left. Ji Young, tournament leader. She's got hybrid. Really has no business going at this flag, or starting at this flag anyway. 20, 30 feet right, off this hook light, no problem. Clinical from Park all week long. From one park to another, Gale to tie Lee Seung-yeon at 15 under par and set the new score to beat in the clubhouse. A lovely way to end another solid week for Park Gale. A 67 on Sunday. Well played, Park Gale. 15 under par. The new clubhouse target. So neat. Also with a hybrid. Also safely on the green. Seung-yeon. Now or never. Only 164 left. Looking to sling a high draw in. Actually a low ball hitter, so has to try to get her weight a little bit back and launch this one up into the air. It's good. It's just not close enough. Jeong Seul-gi for closing birdie. Unlucky not to be. Par round 70 on Sunday and a top 10 finish. Park Gi-yeol's closing birdie, good enough for a 67 and the clubhouse lead, but it's Park Ji-young's championship to lose. The 26-year-old leads by 3. Seung-yeon putting for a birdie, but not from the range she would have preferred. Should want to go a little left. Absolutely club that one. Should get to the hole with ease. Oh, great effort. Really brave try from Lee Seung-yeon.
반대에서 한번 봐봐. 반대에서 봤는데 내리막이라고. 내리막 힘이 있어. 끝에는 거의 플랫까지 똑바로 가는데 중간은 거의 없어 보여.
She's thrown everything but the kitchen sink at Park Ji-young this week, and unfortunately the championship leader has just had all the right answers. Somi's going to take a lot of confidence from her performance this week. Yes, she's not going to leave with a 6th KLPGA Tour title, but it was a rather scrappy start to the season. Has been all but forgotten with some solid play over the last month or so. Cruising for her 4th top 6 finish in her last 5 starts. Seen this putt from Park Gale, a bit longer than Gale's, but you know the general movement right to left and up the hill. That's all she needed to do, snuggle it up there, another tap in. 1 hole left to play for Park Ji-young.
왼쪽이 보이진 않죠? 플레이하겠습니다. 이동 멈춰주세요.
Somi is going to be bagging a 9th top 10 finish of the year this week. Knocking on the door at some point, that's going to open. Projected to move just inside the top 12 on the money list after her performance this week. Seung-yeon clean that one up for a par. Well, a birdie on the last, and she's going to collect another 10 million won. Right now tied with Park Gale. Pays out around 72 million. 88 million for a solo second. But it's 144 million up top. That's the lady with one hand on the trophy, heading up to the par 4 18th, which has seen the tees moved up for the 2nd day in a row, only playing 270 meters. In drier conditions, players can be tempted to try and take on this green off the tee. You'll have to cut off the dogleg and challenge those greenside bunkers on the left-hand side. But Park Ji-young hit it with her tee shot yesterday en route to a closing 2-putt birdie. Ideally, if you are going to miss this green, or go for it, I should say, leave it just short of that right bunker. Gives you the most angle and green to work with for your pitch onto this putting surface. The pin today in the front section, 12 from the front, and in the center of the green. damp conditions really don't help Lee Seung-yeon here. A beautiful tee shot yesterday to the perfect spot. Normally with her lower ball flight, that hunting draw she likes to hit, she could turn one off the slope, pitch it on the downslope, get it forward kick and run it up the green. But with how saturated the course has been over this weekend, you just don't see that happening. As I mentioned, over that flyover, short right, that leaves you with a reasonable chance to get up and down 4 or 3. Playing for second place right now, a birdie. That's her second on her own. Further right than it was yesterday. Should come down short of that bunker. Yep, into the rough, but no real bother there for Lee Seung-yeon. So, short for 5th right now. You might want to get your skates on, girls, because that rain is starting to come again. Just clears that fairway bunker. It's going to try to run down that hill a little bit. That's fine for So-mi. A bit of an awkward distance, but really nothing she can't manage. With a 3-shot lead, you stick to that driver, or do you just lay it up at the top of the hill? Knowing that in all likelihood, bogey, maybe even a double, gets it done. Oh, you have our answer. It's the driver for par. And it's a fairway foul for your champion in waiting, 26-year-old Park Ji-young. 270 meters away from claiming the second title of the season. 3-shot cushion. Don't want to be thinking about that prize presentation, 144 million won, or the acceptance speech just yet. Still got to get the job done. Park Ji-young, she's been in this situation before. She knows what she needs to do. Put a good swing on this. Still want to treat the shot with the same importance as you would the first tee shot on Thursday afternoon. Do it in style. That's an excellent shot. Park Ji-young. Breathe easy. Moments away from supplanting Park Min-ji at the top of the KLPGA Tour's money list. Should move past Min-ji on the points list as well. To note, the players actually have gotten some what look like kitchen towels, rolls of kitchen towels, shoved them into their golf bags in an attempt to make sure that they've always got some kind of dry surface to wipe down the moisture on the grips of their clubs. So just watch how on this downhill line, put more of your weight in your lead foot. You're still trying to keep accelerating through. To be decelerating into these short pitch shots. 41 meters left for So-mi. Okay. A little bit heavy-handed, but not bad. Okay, up and down for 16 million won. Are you up to the challenge, Lee Seong-yeon? Oh, you bet she is. Beautiful shot from Seong-yeon. Great technique, good acceleration. One top 10 finish on tour this year. That was a quarterfinal loss at the Doosan match play. Best stroke play finish of the year, 12th at the Pacific Links Championship in Vietnam at the end of 2022. Those performances with her runner-up finish here. She'll pocket 88 million won to double her total for the season. Nothing to hang her head about this week. She was just simply outclassed, as was the rest of the field, by a certain Park Ji-young. Well played, Lee Seong-yeon. Well played. Well, So-mi works this one out. Able to figure out how much this is actually worth. At the moment, in a share of fifth at around 28 million won. If she holds this, moves into a share of fourth, which would pay somewhere around 38 million won. So every shot counts out here on tour. And unfortunately, it's not going to go for Lee So-mi. That is another rock-solid week for So-mi. Closing round of 70. And the stage clears for your champion in waiting, Park Ji-young. She could sign off in style. A closing birdie and a 4-shot win. A 3-shot win, excuse me. Well, it's not going to matter. Park Ji-young's a winner again on tour. Second title of the season. She moves to number 1 on the money list and the points list. Bags 144 million won and claims a 6th KLPGA Tour title. Not sure she needs any more water doused on her, but she will happily accept the showers of joy from her friends and fellow competitors on tour. To the fans that brave the elements to cheer on Park Ji-young, they'll be able to celebrate tonight. It was just simply too good all week long. Ji-young only dropped 1 shot all week. On a course that, yes, it yielded many birdies, but there were some big numbers out there as well. Rounds of 68, 67, 65, and the closing 70. Good enough to give Park Ji-young a 2-shot margin of victory. More from Sienna Country Club and the prize presentation when we come back.
이것도 가야 되는 거 아니에요? 오빠 우선 좀 주세요. 오빠 우선 좀 주세요. 너무 좁네. 그럼 더 확실히 하세요. 이거 안 받으면은 7번 쳤어? 우리 나 처음 쳤어.
그런가 봐요?
이거 안 썼어요? 고맙습니다. 저 나중에 연락할게요. 이쪽이요. 아, 여기서요?
미안.
네. 네. 안녕하세요. 아, 네, 감사합니다. 또 이렇게, 시즌 다승을 한 적이 처음이어서 되게 마지막 날 굉장히 떨리기도 했고, 긴장이 많이 됐는데요. 또 그 긴장이 어떻게 보면은 저에게 또 좋은 영향을 끼쳐서 되게 이렇게 우승까지 이어질 수 있었던 것 같아요. 조금 어제는, 좀 많이 눌리는 느낌이 없지 않아 많이 있어가지고, 좀 밀리는 샷이 좀 많이 나왔었는데요. 어제 끝나고 이제 연습을 하면서 좀 타이밍 연습을 하기도 하고, 또 오늘 아침에 나가기 전에도 타이밍 연습을 많이 하다 보니까 좀 어제보다는 샷감이 괜찮았던 것 같아요. 솔직히 안 아쉬웠다고 하면은 거짓말이고요. 굉장히 아쉬웠어요. 꼭 이제 이번 대회를 보기 프리 라운드를 꼭 하고 싶었었는데 7번 홀에서 보기를 해가지고 조금 많이 아쉬웠습니다. 조금 부담이 되기도 하면서 또 워낙 이제 소미나 승현이가 잘 치는 선수고 퍼터도 되게 좋은 선수여서 두 타 차이여도 좀 어려울 수도 있겠다라는 생각을 많이 했었어요. 네. 일단 제일 큰 목표는 시즌 다승이 제일 큰 목표였었는데요. 또 이렇게 2승을 상반기 마지막 때 했다 보니까 하반기 대회에서도 꼭 최대한 빨리 우승을 하는 게 제일 큰 목표고요. 제가 계속 매년 목표로 하는 최저 타수상을 꼭 받기 위해서 최선을 다해서 열심히 하겠습니다. 네. 잠시만요. 네. 궂은 날씨에도 불구하고, 굉장히 많은 응원을 해주시고, 사흘 내내 이제 많이 오셔서 좀 응원을 해주시고, 또 힘들 때마다 격려를 해주셔서 제가 또 이렇게 우승을 할 수 있었던 원동력이 됐던 것 같고요. 항상 언제나 감사드리고, 또 좋은 모습 많이 보여드리겠습니다. 감사합니다. 네, 감사합니다.
So Park Ji-young's 6th career title sees her move to the top of the KLPGA Tour money list through 17 events this season. Let's go back and show you some of the best shots of the day, starting with last year's Rookie of the Year, Lee Ye-won, holding out for an eagle for the 3rd time in 288 days. Fantastic final round from the 20-year-old, but it was all about Park Ji-young coming into the day. Would a 2-shot lead be enough? Well, why settle for 2 when you can make it 3? An opening birdie at the first for Park. At the third, Park Gale. She too was making some early moves. Just enough on it. Back-to-back birdies, taking Gale into a share of 3rd at that point. At the par 5 4th, Ji-young would continue to stretch her advantage. This birdie doubling her overnight lead to 4. Up ahead, as the rain would start to come down. Great shot from Kim Min-sun, from Son Ye-bin. Just piecing together the round of the day. Ji-young's lead actually stretched as far as 5 shots, courtesy of that lovely approach to the par 5-6, would knock that one in for her 3rd birdie to get to 19 under par. Park Gale dropped the shot at 7, responded nicely with a birdie at 8, and this at 9 to turn in 33. Was continuing to find birdies. Turned in 33, birdied 11, and then that birdie at 12 got her to 5 under for the day. And there was a little flip-flop here at the 7th. Lee Seong-yeon, after 6 straight pars, opened her account with a 3 at the par 4. For the first time all week long, Park Ji-young would drop a shot. A 2-shot swing and the lead was back down to 3. 7 under par playing the last. Son Ye-bin would have the best round on Sunday. Match the low round of the week. A 64 for Ye-bin to finish in solo 4th. Cho Ye-rim was playing alongside her. She would card a 65 to leave herself in the top 5. Park Ji-young with a 4-iron on the 16th. Didn't seem to like it off the club face, but I think she was pretty pleased with the result. Seong-yeon needed to start making something happen. Dropped a shot to start the back 9. Handed Park Ji-young back a 4-shot lead, but a superb iron out of the left rough on 14. Set up this, only her 2nd birdie of the day. And that took her back to within 3. Park Geol was putting the shine on a splendid closing round of 67. 11 under par on the weekend. Park Geol finishes in solo third. Good enough for 64 million won. Well, Seung-yeon needed an up and down at the last to pinch solo second away from Geol. Gosh Dania gave us a walk-off eagle. A great week's work for Lee Seung-yeon. Closing birdie. A nice round of 2 under par 70. And a paycheck for 88 million won. Park Ji-young was simply too good all week at the Sienna Country Club. The birdie wouldn't drop, but a par secure a 2-shot victory and the top spot on the KLPGA Tour money list. Many congratulations, our 2023 EVERCOLLAGEN Queen's Crown champion Park Ji-young.
기록한 선수는 김민솔 선수입니다. 축하드립니다. 네, 수석 회장님께서 직접 꽃다발과 부상으로 에버콜라겐 1년치 부상을 드리도록 하겠습니다. 한국 골프의 밝은 미래를 보여준 김민솔 선수에게 여러분 다시 한번 큰 박수 부탁드립니다. 네, 사진촬영 진행하겠습니다.
앞에 오세요.
네, 감사합니다. 네, 다음으로는 기부금 전달식이 있겠습니다. 대회 코스 2번 홀에서 진행됐던 에버콜라겐 기부존 관련 기부 물품 전달입니다. 에버콜라겐 기부존은 대회 코스 2번 홀에서 버디 성공 시마다 50만 원의 기금이 쌓인 형태로 진행이 됐는데요. 주최자인 뉴트리가 대회를 통한 사회공헌 활동의 일환으로 조성된 기금인 3천만 원에 준하는 에버콜라겐 포큐 500개를 제주특별자치도 장애인체육회에 전달한다고 합니다. 주최자유치 박재호 부사장님 그리고 제주특별자치도 장애인체육회 정재훈 상임 부회장님 앞으로 나와주시면 감사하겠습니다. 네, 부사장님께서 직접 전달해 주도록 하겠습니다. 네, 기부금에서 기부금을 누적한 모든 선수들의 이름과 함께 뉴트리의 이름으로 기부될 예정입니다. 도움의 손길이 필요한 곳에 저희가 잘 전달할 수 있도록 하겠습니다. 뜻깊은 기부를 해주신 뉴트리의 박주영 부사장님께도 다시 한번 감사드립니다. 고맙습니다. 네, 이어서 대회 코스 10번 홀에서 진행됐던 더 시에나존 기부금 전달이 있겠습니다. 대회 코스 10번 홀에서 티샷이 페어웨이 위에 기려진 존에 안착할 때마다 30만원의 기금이 쌓이는 형태로 진행이 됐었는데요. 주최사인 더 시에나 그룹이 대회를 통해 조성된 기금인 2천만원을 월드비전에 기부한다고 합니다. 기부 물품 전달은 더 시에나 그룹 신동휴 회장님께서 강동균 월드비전 제주 나눔센터장님께 전달하도록 하겠습니다. 두 분께서는 앞으로 나와주시기 바랍니다. 네, 신동균 회장님 직접 기부금을 전달해 주시기 바랍니다. 고맙습니다. 네, 사진 촬영하겠습니다. 이 기금 역시 이 더 시에나존의 기부금을 누적한 모든 선수들의 이름과 함께 더 시에나 그룹의 이름으로 기부가 될 예정입니다. 도움의 손길이 필요한 곳에 잘 전달할 수 있도록 함께 애쓰도록 하겠습니다. 시상해 주신 신동규 회장님도 감사드립니다. 네, 이제 본격적인 시상을 진행을 해볼 텐데요. 시상은 특별상과 우승자 시상 순으로 진행이 되겠습니다. 먼저 코스 레코드 시상입니다. 이전에 제주컨트리 클럽일 때 이곳에서 제4회 한국 서산 여자 오픈 골프 선수권 대회 1라운드에서 67타를 기록한 박민혜 선수의 기록이 있었는데요. 당첨자분께서 300만 원을 수여하도록 하겠습니다. 네, 고맙습니다. 네, 이어서 홀인원 시상입니다. 이번에는 홀인원 총 4군데에서 홀인원 이벤트가 진행이 됐었는데요. 5번 홀에서는 현대자동차 아이오닉 6, 9번 홀에서는 에버콜라겐 10년 제공권, 12번 홀에서는 프레드릭 콘스탄트 매뉴팩처 출을 비용, 16번 홀에서는 주최사 더 시에나 그룹의 시에나 리조트 10년 명예회원권이 걸려 있었습니다. 자, 매 파스류에서 모든 이벤트가 있었는데요. 이번에는 행운의 주인공 바로 발표하도록 하겠습니다. 2라운드 16번 홀에서 홀인원을 기록한 홍지원 프로입니다. 여러분 박수 부탁드립니다. 네, 시에나 그룹의 신동일 회장님께서 시상해 주시겠습니다. 시에나 리조트 10년 명예회원권, 바로 16번 홀에서 홀인원을 기록하면서 행운의 주인공으로 탄생을 했습니다. 네, 다시 한번 홀인원의 주인공이 된 홍지원 프로에게 축하의 박수 부탁드립니다. 자, 그럼 이제 대망의 에버콜라겐 더 시에나 퀸즈 크라운 2023 대망의 우승자 시상을 진행하도록 하겠습니다. 에버콜라겐 더 시에나 퀸즈 크라운 2023 영예의 주인공은 박지영 프로입니다. 여러분 큰 박수 부탁드립니다. 정신 8번더 278타를 기록하면서 세 번째 왕자의 주인공이 됐습니다. 네, 먼저 우승 망토와 여왕의 세터를 시상을 해주시겠는데요. 주식회사 뉴트리 박기범 대표님께서 해주시겠습니다. 앞으로 모시겠습니다. 네, 대회 전통인 우승 망토와 여왕의 세터를 직접 수여하도록 했습니다. 네, 함께 사진 촬영하겠습니다.
저 반복만 두분 다 반복. 네, 됐습니다. 네, 감사합니다.
이어서 대망의 우승 티아라를 주식회사 뉴트리 김성 회장님께서 시상을 해주시겠습니다. 네, 선수들도 굉장히 편안했던 어제 티아라인데요. 자, 모자를 벗지 않은 채 그 위에 씌우는 걸로 하겠습니다. 네, 고맙습니다. 진정한 여왕으로 거듭나는 박지영 프로입니다. 네, 왕관이 아주 잘 어울리는데요. 이어서 우승 수표를 전달하겠습니다. 더 시에나 그룹의 신동일 회장님께서 시상을 해주시겠습니다. 앞으로 나와주시죠. 우승 상금 1억 4,400만 원을 수여하도록 하겠습니다.
바보가 있고. 좋습니다. 네, 감사합니다.
네, 고맙습니다. 네, 이어서 한국여자프로골프협회 김수미 수석 부회장님께서는 축하의 꽃다발을 전달하도록 하겠습니다.
잡아주세요. 네. 네, 감사합니다.
네, 이번에 부상이 또 굉장히 많은데요.
So all hail Queen Park Ji-young, your winner here at the rain-soaked Sienna Country Club. It's been a terrific 4 days from Jeju Island. The tour will roll along to the Sandasu Masters, still on the island of Jeju. Next week we do hope you can join us then for more action from the KLPGA Tour. It's been a privilege as always, keeping you company for the last 4 days. But until next time, this is Timothy Lowe saying have a wonderful Sunday evening and see you next time on the KLPGA Tour. Bye-bye for now.